I was always told that I would never measure up to anything or be someone that people would notice. Am I wrong for the way I acted when I became everything they said I wouldn't? 1-2. They stopped inviting me when I was between things. At first, I didn't notice it happening. That's how distance usually starts. Quiet, polite, almost considerate. A missed invite here, a delayed reply there. Plans that just didn't work out this time. I told myself it was nothing. Everyone gets busy. Life shifts. But then the phrase started showing up. Between jobs, between ideas, between versions of myself. It sounded temporary, almost generous, like they were giving me grace. What it really meant was that my life no longer fit cleanly into theirs. I wasn't a success story they could point to, or a disaster they could feel good about helping. I existed in a gray area people don't know how to sit with. I wasn't failing loudly enough to be pitied. I wasn't succeeding enough to be respected. I was just inconvenient. I watched my seat slowly disappear from tables I used to belong at. Group chats stayed active without my name in them. I'd hear about birthdays after they passed, trips after the photos were posted. Nobody said I wasn't welcome. They just stopped making room. That kind of exclusion messes with you because there's nothing to confront. No villain, no argument, just the quiet realization that your presence has become optional. Those years were heavy, not because I wasn't working, but because everything I worked on lived in the dark. I woke up early, studied late, built things no one saw, and improved skills no one asked about. Every day felt like laying bricks underground, hoping someday they'd lead somewhere above the surface. Money stayed tight. Pride stayed tighter. I learned how to stretch meals, how to say no without explaining, how to answer, "So what are you doing now?" without letting it sound like an apology. I watched people I once stood shoulder to shoulder with move forward while I stayed still, reworking foundations they never knew I was building. There were nights I questioned myself hard, nights I wondered if they were right to step back, if being around me really was heavy, if my uncertainty made me less worthy of connection. But I kept going, not because I was confident, but because quitting felt like agreeing with the version of me they'd quietly written off. The break, when it came, didn't feel cinematic. Like and follow for part 2